And we are live. I would like to welcome everybody to this Facebook live stream. I have the one and the only DeMarr Zimmerman. DeMarr, I'm gonna pull it up on my iPad here so I can watch for comments or anything. But I want everybody to kind of know who you are. I did a post about it, and I said, hey, if you don't know who DeMarr Zimmerman is, go to YouTube and look him up, because I found a TEDx talk that you did.
About fly fishing, or about something about thinking big or something like that. I can't remember what it was.
It was about that's how many talks you've given. You don't even remember. It was about the what was it about? Wow.
Well, it was probably that one. I think I talked about how I was broke.
Yeah.
And I listened to I think it was Tony Robbins or Tom Hopkins or someone like that, or somebody that said that, you just need a little bit of change in your direction, and you can change your whole world. And
right.
And I talked about that, and I think I related it to a fly rod.
You did, and it was fantastic. You talked about you made one little change in your direction, and I think you were like 44, 45, something like that.
I was 45 years old, and I made a change in my direction. In both, I focused on my spiritual, my mental, and my physical. Well, 4 areas, and my financial.
Yeah.
And within a period of 4.5 years, I was completely out of debt. I'd lost about 60 pounds. I was very active reading my the books and stuff I did in my religion, and those kinds of things. And it really, just a little bit of shift changed my direction completely.
Yeah. So you and I've talked quite a bit the last few days about a lot of amazing things. And
I know you're amazing, and I've learned a lot.
Come on, man. I'm very grateful for. We've been friends on Facebook for I think 7 or 8 years.
Oh yeah.
and never really connected on a big level until recently. And man, am I grateful for that. You've got some friends in pretty high places, man. That are well known. The one dude you talked about, like that's pretty cool.
Yeah. You're talking about Harvey McKay?
Yeah, I'm talking about Harvey McKay. I didn't know if I was allowed to bring up his name.
Well, just as long as we don't, say anything bad about him, which we never would. But
no way.
He's not a bad guy. But yeah, I've met a lot of people in my life, and he's been a mentor of mine from afar ever since I was in my 20s. I remember the first time that he had this tape series, and I read the book Swim with the Sharks Without Being Eaten Alive. Still a great book. I recommend it to anybody.
Yeah.
Another book that I really like better that's actually called Dig Your Well Before You're Thirsty. And I remember I was in the mortgage business, a real estate business, and I had a basement that wasn't finished. I had a card table and chairs, and that was before the computers. We didn't even have computers. Can you believe living in a world where we didn't have computers?
Can't even imagine.
So he talked about sending notes to people, and how when you met someone, you should send them a note. So I bought me a big old box of notes, put them down in the basement. And he says, you need to fill your Rolodex up with about 2,000 to 6,000 people. And here's what he said. I remember it's probably kind of diluted a little bit, but I remember in my mind, it was, if you keep in contact with about 2,000 to 6,000 people a year, you'll never make less than a 6-figure income a year. Now, a 6-figure income when I was in my 20s was a lot of money. Still is a lot of money.
Yeah.
And so I remember that. So I went and bought the box, started doing it. And I'm not a very organized person. And so I started writing cards, and all of a sudden I forgot who I wrote cards to. And pretty soon I'd writing cards and sending cards to people I just barely sent one to. And I gave up after about 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And then it wasn't until later in my life, about 15 years ago, that I picked it up again. And I've been blessed to meet some incredible people in my life that have been able to give me direction when I needed it. And
Yeah.
I need it all the time.
So do
So
I.
that's pretty funny. Anyway.
So you, hey, Sandy Lewis, Tennille Chena, and thank you for anybody who shares this out. By the way, DeMarr will send you an autographed fly rod. I'm just kidding.
I've done that before.
I'll bet you have. I'll bet you have. So what I've gathered from you in the last few days that we've really connected is if there's anybody that I would say is a master at connecting with people and staying connected with people, you would fall into that category. And a master never really knows that he's a master, just so you
I
know.
wouldn't consider myself a master. I'd consider myself someone who has learned to do a few things, but not a master. There's only been one master in my life.
I understand. I
But
understand.
anyway, but I appreciate that. I appreciate the compliment.
Well, and it's not just a compliment. I've gotten to know you over the last few days pretty well. I think you're pretty incredible. So, there's this and for those of you who don't know who DeMarr is, I'm gonna tell you he retired recently. I think your wife retired, right, and kind of convinced you to do likewise.
Well, what happened is I had I've been an entrepreneur forever. My wife has always said I'm onto manure, but entrepreneur all my life. And and I like people. I love people, and I like work, and I like to. And to me, it's not work; it's just enjoying life. And a few years ago, I had a operation that it was affecting us, and so she, a few years ago, she could have quit. 15 years ago, she could have quit what she was doing, but she kept doing it so that we kept insurance.
Mm-hmm.
Then she got a vet. Then we had Obamacare, and we didn't need that, but we kept the insurance, and so she had to keep that insurance in order. She had to be vested, and so she went through the vesting, and she's vested now. And this year she says, "I'm retiring, and so are you." And I says, "What does that mean?" And she says, "That means that you're not going to spend as much time doing the things that you've done in the past, and we're going to go golfing more." And we're doing. I said, "I thought we already did that." She goes, "No, we're going to do it without your phone." And so, yeah, so I basically I've been involved with the company for 15 years, and I actually retired from that company, and I still enjoy everything about it.
Yeah.
I'm just spending a lot of time enjoying my grandkids. My dad used to always say, I didn't understand what he said. He always said, "I like my kids, but I love my grandkids." Now I know exactly what he's talking about.
That's funny.
He was. Anyway.
So and that company is one of the top MLM companies in the world, and you are like you're the guy. I
did okay. I made more money than most and fewer than some. But it was a great. It's a great company. It's great. Yeah. It's one of those things where you feel the product. You don't have to use the product to fill it. Other people fill it. It's a great thing. And I might tell people to send out cards. I was involved in that for 15 years of my life, and I still involved. I mean, I still do cards, gifts, and talk to people. I just refer people if they want to do the business. I refer them to other people. But
well, I need to be your number one referral source because I'm still sending.
Okay.
But look, I know this, and most people involved in send out cards knows that a big chunk, 70-80% of the people involved are in your downline. So,
Well, yeah, but I don't take credit for all that. I was just
no,
happened to be at the right place at the right time, and
yeah,
had some. I learned a long time ago that you want to sponsor up. So
yeah,
it's kind of like when you get married, you want to marry up, you want to sponsor up. So you try to find people that are going to do better than you do, and I just did, and I just happened to do that.
yeah,
And so that's what I did. And I'd been involved in a few network marketing companies before, and I've always been successful in network marketing.
yeah,
I've been involved in 4 companies, and I tell people I was always successful. And what that means is I always made more money than I spent. You know what I mean?
yeah,
But I didn't. I always, whenever I got involved in one, I'd always tell my wife that I was gonna lose money, and so I didn't. But I made my home there. It's been a great ride, and I love the company. I love the people in the company, and I love, what it does, the goodness that it does. But there's a lot of companies out there, a lot of great network marketing companies, a lot of great people in that industry, in that industry.
yeah,
And I've been fortunate to meet some very incredible mentors.
yeah,
And so, I just listened, and
right,
I kind of did what they said to do. And, I don't believe that there's any gurus. I mean, you talk about somebody, you got people, you might have mentors and stuff like that, but I don't believe in gurus. Guru is
right,
something that we put on people, but people are just, they put their shoes on the same way. They do all the things the same way. They just did it longer, or did it faster, or did it, learned a few things, and they listened and that kind of stuff. So, I'm not a guru. I never felt I was a guru. I'm just a hick from Utah. So, the money that I've been able to make in network marketing has to do is I was willing to go find people that were bigger and better than I was.
yeah. I get that. That's cool, man. Your humility is amazing, by the way.
Well, I don't know. My wife may not think I'm so humble sometimes, but yeah. Well, I'm 58 years old,
Yeah,
and there's twice in my life I almost died. And when you start getting grandkids and stuff, you take a different perspective
yeah,
on your life and that kind of stuff. So I mean, but I'm, like I say, I'm just a hick from Utah. I don't, I like to fly fish, and I like to fly fish, golf with my wife, and hang out with my grandkids. That's what I like doing nowadays.
right.
And meeting people. I love meeting people. Love
Yeah,
that. I don't think
yeah.
that I'll ever retire from that.
We've got Jim Weaver. Richard Trevino is a #1 best-selling author, buddy of mine, down in Texas. Charles Stecker's in here. Got some great people. Sandy Lewis. So, and by the way, thank you to everybody who shared this out. I appreciate it. I'm sure DeMarr does. So, recently, you introduced me to something pretty phenomenal, because look, I've built up a pretty big business and following, and a lot of friends all over the planet. And one of the ways that I've done that, I literally just a little bit ago, I was on Jeffrey Gitomer, who's the author of the Little Red Book of Selling. I was on his podcast. I told you about that a little bit. And we were talking about social media and how to really connect with people. And because look, as you know, and you're friends with Harvey McKay, you're friends with some pretty amazing people, and so am I. And I'm not friends with Harvey McKay. Someday I will be. But like connecting with another human being, there's so many, like somebody will send me a friend request on Facebook, and then instantly I get a message about, hey, come and join my MLM and watch this video. And I almost always just go in and block that person because or I'll say, hey, I'm going to pray for you. Cause you don't know how to connect with people. That's not how you sell. That's not how you do it. You connect, you really genuinely connect with people. And that's one of the things I've loved about send out cards is being able to, like Richard Trevino just said in here, the send out card that I sent him, he's a client of mine. He's a good friend of mine. And I sent him, a card saying, bro, I love you, man. You're like a brother to me. And I appreciate everything. He's a minister. He's a great guy. And so I said, and he literally got on and did a Facebook Live talking about how classy I am and told everybody in the world that, and all I did is took a picture of him and I that we had a selfie together, and I put it on a card, and he just thought that was, and it's really a great thing to do. So, doing things like that and not just for send out cards, but for anything. Like if you want to be able to, if I wanted to send you and your wife a gift card for dinner on your anniversary, or so many things that can come up where we need to be able to contact people on multiple levels. And you were talking about Harvey McKay, and I didn't know all the stuff. It's been a long time ago since I read Swim with the Shark. So maybe give a refresher on how important getting all of that information is and what you shared with me about it.
Well, the thing of it is that, like I say, Harvey McKay has been a mentor of mine from afar for a long time. And there's 2 times in my life that I never thought I'd met him personally other than at a seminar and stuff like that. But I was absolutely able to go fly fishing with him and enjoy 3 days with him at a retreat, you know what I mean? That wasn't even my retreat. I was just helping him learn how to fly fish. But what I've learned is that, I learned from people and little one-liners that really mean a lot. Like, for example, Mary Kay Ash from, everybody thinks that her business was about cosmetics. It's not. It's about making people feel good. In fact, she's got a sign in her office that says, everybody has an invisible sign around their neck that says, make me feel important. And,
Wow.
The personal touch and all that kind of stuff. It wasn't too long ago that we didn't have phones where you could text and all that kind of stuff. And making people feel important in a big way is kind of a lost art anymore. And so, knowledge is power. And the more knowledge or the more information you have on people, the more power you do. Not power over them, but power to bless other people's lives and stuff like that. So, for example, if I got your information and someone's interested in something that you've got, and I got your information, now all of a sudden I have power to empower them with your information, and so I can be a better connector.
Right.
If I have your information and I've got your birthday or your anniversary stuff, then I can do what Mary Kay Ash talks about. I can make you feel important, and not on Facebook with 50 billion other people. I can do it personally. I can call you now because I got your cell phone number. I say, hey, leave a message. I can text you in your own, not on a group text. I can text you personally. I say, hey, listen, we can text back and forth. I can, if I want to go see you and I'm in your area, I can call you up and say, hey, I got your address. You mind if I swing by? Those are the things that we forget. It isn't good enough. 90% of people's information that you have is a phone number and an email.
Yeah.
90% of people that's all you got.
Yeah.
And so if you want to be on top, you got to have more.
Yep.
You got to do the more. Harvey McKay talks about, I'm not going to increase you by 20, 30%, but if I can increase your ability to sell, or increase your ability to be better in certain areas just by 2, 3, 4, 5%, it's huge. So information is power. And it's the first time in the history of the world that we have a Rolodex that fits in our pocket and it goes everywhere with us. And so I'm on a mission, so to speak, to help people get as much information in their phone, not less, more information on people so they can empower themselves, empower other people, show appreciation, gratitude, and celebrate people's lives. So that's, and that's how we connected just recently by doing that.
It is. It was pretty impressive, actually. I was like, wow, DeMarr Zimmerman's hitting me up wanting my cell phone number. That's pretty sweet.
Oh,
So
I can tell you a story behind that. I mean, I don't know how much time we have. I can talk all day long about this.
we got as much time as you need and I need. So
Okay. Well, I was on Facebook, and I just wanted to connect with some more people, and so I'm involved in this app, and this app is called My Contact Butler.
yeah,
And I was very instrumental in helping it get where it needs to be.
right.
And so I've always dealt with contact managers, CRMs, and stuff in the business last 15 years, and I wanted something that would allow me to gather people's information and put it in my phone, because I've gone mobile. If you'll notice in the background, I'm in my truck.
You know is that a mountain in the background back there?
There is a mountain, and I'm not too far away from a fly rod in the stream. So anyway, so what happened is I want to go mobile. I have this Facebook page called Gone Mobile, and I want to go mobile. I want to teach people to go mobile. I don't want people, I believe in entrepreneurship and all that kind of stuff, but I believe that now with a phone, you can actually build your business or do whatever you are. You can do a lot of it from and be mobile.
Yeah,
things you want to do and still, take care of business.
Right.
And so anyway, so I was instrumental in that. So it's an app that you do, and it's really cool. And I'll tell you, I can get it because I'm going to pitch it because I think everybody should have it. And not because I'm involved in it. I just think it's a real powerful tool.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
So what happened was, what it does is that I'll just kind of explain a little bit. So what it does is that you can text or email somebody, and you send them a form, and it's tied into the operating systems of iPhone and Android. And so when you push the information, they fill out the form, it automatically populates it in your phone. And if you've got someone in your phone, it can update that. And there's some other services that are attached to other things with a monthly fee and stuff. But I wanted to be involved in something that it was standalone and it was very inexpensive, so anybody could buy it.
Right.
And it would not just throw a bunch of contacts like you put someone in there, and then there's forms out there. You put someone in there, and then they forget to put something. So you send the form again, and now you got 2 of them in there, and it clones. And all of a sudden you got 3, 4, 5, and all of a sudden you got 10 people in your phone.
Right.
And then you tout to people, hey, I got 10,000 people on my phone. No, you probably really only have 3,000.
Right.
But in our phones, if this is the new Rolodex, we need to have the right information. So I got involved in that. So it is a long story. I'm making a long story longer, but
nope.
I'm on Facebook. and I'm starting to send people a message just on private message that's saying people I know and people that I kind of know.
Yeah.
And I just said, hey, I'm updating, or I'm adding to and updating to the people on my phone. I need your cell phone. And my wife walked around and she says, what are you doing? I says, I'm seeing if I can get people to give me their cell phone on Facebook. She goes, you'll never do that. People are going to give you your cell phone number. Well, if anybody knows me, when someone challenges, that's a challenge to me.
Right.
So I says, yeah, I can. She goes, people aren't going to give you their cell phone. I said, well, I already got a few. They probably know you. So I just spent 3-4 days, and all I did was I just started going to people's private messages and say, hey, this is DeMarr. I'm adding and updating people in my phone. What's your cell phone number?
That's
I got
awesome.
over 400 cell phone numbers. And so what I did is I took their number, put it in this My Contact Butler, and it pushed them a text. And then they put it, and I've got probably 300 of them that filled it out, and now they're in my phone. And here's what I did. I put on there, I said, fill in all the blanks, because it's the same form that you fill out on your phone. It's got your job description, your job, address, phone number, emails, all that kind of stuff. So I just did that, and these people and I send them a text, and they go, yeah, and they do it. Some people think, oh, I don't want to give my phone number out. I want everybody to have my phone number. And because they have text now where I can block people if I want to. You know what I mean?
Right.
So about that.
That's right.
I mean, they've got apps and stuff that do that kind of stuff. And so I want everybody to have my phone number.
Yeah.
I want to be accessible to people as much as I can.
Right.
Because I'm not getting younger.
Right.
And I want to have everybody else's. If I'm traveling somewhere and I see someone on my phone that lives in that area, I want to call them and say, hey, what's there to do around here?
Right.
You know, I don't want to have to copy and paste all the time when I got to go to somebody's house and I say, well, what's your address? And they only give me the street address. And then I got to copy and paste it in my thing. I don't want to do that. I want to have it already. So I don't have to ask it all the time.
I totally agree with that.
So that's kind of what I've been doing. My wife says, I want you to retire, but I kind of didn't retire. I had this little job I had to do. I have a couple other apps that I got up my sleeve, but anyway, I love it. I mean, I love people, and everybody knows me.
You're the epitome of an entrepreneur. I mean, you're
well,
not.
Remember, my wife says I'm an entrepreneur.
Right. I understand, but you also, you can't sit still.
No, I mean, I can enjoy a nice, in a river and with my, I feel more comfortable with my feet wet than dry, but, I enjoy those things. I enjoy, holding my granddaughter and stuff, but I also enjoy knowing that there's people that I can connect with and people that can connect with me. And I don't have to, a few years ago, I said, I want to have 1 million friends before I die.
Yeah.
Well, now with this phone, I can have it all right here.
Yeah.
The phone is really a mini CRM. You realize that you can set reminders, you can set, your appointments, you can add and update now with the Butler. You can do all that kind of stuff. You realize that Google and or Android and iOS, they don't even have that feature. It's nowhere. You know what I mean? They don't have it. So my attorney had the group of people that are involved in patent it. So it's all patented. So the whole process is just amazing. And now I got your information. Now I got another friend.
Yeah.
And, we've had some incredible conversations about all sorts of stuff. And it's not always about money. Sometimes there's a good friend of mine, Steve Schultz. He says that sometimes it is about the money. You know what I mean? But there's lots of times not.
Who's Steve Schultz? Why do I know his name?
Steve Schultz was involved with XL Communications. He's now the president of field operations at Send Out Cards. He's been with Longevity. He's been an icon in the industry. Great guy.
Yeah.
He's been around for a long time. He's one of my mentors in network marketing.
Wow.
One of the first persons that that really I learned a lot from in network marketing.
Yeah,
so,
I know,
anyway.
I know who he is now. Yeah. I'm like, why do I know that name? I mean, you are, so it goes back, goes back to the original statement I made. And maybe you don't like being called a master. I think a true master does not realize that he's a master. Right. So,
well, thanks.
I think it was, one of those spiritual teachers that said, someone who claims that they're a master definitely is not a master.
Well, I might be good at a lot of things and a master at none. but one of the things I learned from I think it was Brian Tracy, maybe it was, I can't remember. I learned so many things from everybody. I don't have an original bone in my body. Everything it's plagiarism. That's my middle name. But I started taking notes. One of the things I started doing in your phone. Did you know you have a note section in your phone?
I do now. I did not realize that when you're adding a contact, you can actually put notes in there. I didn't know that. You were saying, we were talking last night till 1 something in the morning about things. And you told me that, and I put you on speaker. You didn't even know it, and I was checking. I'm like, holy moly! I have note section on my contacts. It's
great. And so you can put a note. And the reason I like gathering birthdays, number one, I like to send birthday cards and also birthday wishes. But the other reason is that once a year you're reminded that they're in your phone, and so you can go and say, well, who is that person? Well, there's a lot of people in your phone you don't even know who they are.
Oh,
if you have notes on them, you can remember. Yeah. And there's times where I've met the people again, where I met them maybe at a restaurant, and I said, hey, you're John so-and-so. And they go, how do you remember? I said, well, can't remember when we were at the grocery store and you're standing behind me and that lady was taking too long, stuff like that. And they go, how do you remember that? Well, I reviewed their birthday this year and I remembered it and I happened to see them in my area. And it's not that I have a great memory. I just refresh my memory on a regular basis.
Right.
And so, these are the things that I believe are important, and they're the fundamentals, just like dribbling and layups in basketball. They're the fundamentals that people are forgetting.
Yep, you're right.
And they're not being taught, and they should be.
Yeah.
Because I believe that there's always cycles. You always end up going around. Like, it's kind of like fashions. It used to be that bell bottoms were in style, and then they went out of style, and then they went in style, and then they went out of style. That happens. They just kind of rotate. But this is one thing, truism. There's never enough information you can have on somebody. Never.
Right. And that when we were talking about that last night, I was like, man, this is something I've just never done. Like I don't even know how many thousands of contacts. You said there's a way to find out, but I have thousands of contacts and I can scroll through most of them and I have no idea when their birthday is. None. Don't know if my life depended on sending them a birthday card on their birthday, I would not know how to do it. Like I don't have an address, don't know when their birthday is. Facebook notifies me normally of somebody's birthday at the end of the day. So like, I don't even know that their birthday exists until it's too late. And then I go, oh geez, sorry, I didn't see your birthday. That's got to make them feel really good about their connection with me, right? So
it's okay. It's okay if you send a birthday card afterwards. It's okay if you wish them happy birthday afterwards. It's okay. Just say, hey, I missed your birthday. The fact that you remembered that you forgot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I hear you. I agree with you.
Like I'm looking right here, and I'm on my calendar. Okay, so today's the 28th, right?
Yeah.
So on the 30th, there's a guy named Frank Marshman, and I'm wishing him a happy birthday now because I'm not going to, but I'll text him and stuff. So I've got, probably 100 people on this month on their birthdays, that have come up. And then next month I've got, and it's all because I've been able to push it and they give me their birthdays. Now, why is that important? Because I can review them now. I can say, okay, there's Brian Nelson's birthday.
Yeah.
Okay, his is on the 21st next month. There's Lori Rupp's. Her birthday's on the 16th. By the way, if you're on the call, Lori, I don't know if you are, but Marion Dady, her birthday's on the 9th. You know what I mean? And I've got Halloween on the 31st. It's not a birthday, but you know what I mean. But I can go through and I just click and I can go over and over and I can go through and then I can look at them and then if I have the notes, which is what I try to do is get notes on people and remember where I met them. And then I know. And then the next time I meet them, I say, remember when we were at the thing? No, I don't remember that. You remember? Oh yeah, I do remember that. And again, it's not about memory.
Yeah.
It's about, I don't have any long-term memory. It's a short-term memory. And so I have to use my calendar and stuff. I'm use my contacts on my phone to remember that stuff. And then it becomes, I guess, short-term long memory. Maybe I'll quote that phrase or something. I don't know.
That's
anyway.
Funny. So you, I to be quite frank, I'm not even sure how many people it would be. I want people to understand, that you're one of those humble, hidden
Stop right there. Like everybody else.
I understand
no.
you're like. No. I'm just saying outside of our circle, our immediate circle, most people wouldn't know who you are. And
it's not important that they do. You know what I mean?
I understand, but I think you don't like me calling you a master, but you've become unbelievably good at staying connected to people, staying in contact with people, remembering the little details. And one of the things that I'm absolutely certain of is I go through my contacts now, because you got me thinking about it. Like, okay, and I'm going through and I'm like, oh my God, I'd love to send them a card or a gift card to and whatever. And I don't have their address, and I don't even know when that person's birthday is, but I have their phone number and maybe their email address. Sometimes I don't even have that. So where do they work? I have no idea where they work. So you showed me this my contact butler, and I was like, whoa, this is pretty sweet, because literally I go in, I hit update a contact, I find the person's, just type in their name, I select it, and I send them a text, and they get it, and it says, hey, it's Ken, I just want to add your birthday and address so I can send you birthday cards on your birthday. So fill out this form. And they do it. It's amazing. So I think that people need to know about my contact butler. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? What I'm going to do is this. I'm going to, first off, let me go here. I'm going to share my screen and just show people how it works. Is that all right?
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. It's in beta right now, so there's just a few bugs.
I know.
But the nice thing about it is that in beta, it's a real expensive app though. That's the only problem. It's $10 a year, and it's very, very, very expensive.
And Lisa Patrick just said, you are your network. And you said last night, what'd you say?
Well, your net worth is directly related to your network, and Harvey McKay says the same thing. Your net worth is your network. Yeah. And so I'm a believer of that, and I believed it for years, and so I just haven't been very good to organize. So if I've got tools that allow me to get this stuff so it's in a place where I can manage it, and what I mean by manage it is recognize it, see that it's there, and see that I've got it, and then recognize other people.
Right.
Then that's when it becomes powerful. Something just happened.
Hang on real quick. Well, I'm just getting this real fast.
And so again, knowledge of people and what they are is power. I mean, think about it. If you're collecting people's information and you've got all this in your store, and somebody says in your phone, and someone says to you, look
at that. Look, I just got notified that Jeffrey Gitomer updated his contact info.
Yeah, and then, so now when you click OK, that automatically populates it in your phone.
Yeah. So, and I just did the podcast with Jeffrey Gitomer. I was telling him about how awesome this app is. I said, in fact, I'm going to send you a text message so you can give me your address, and I know your birthday and all that stuff. So he did. So, it's pretty sweet. So I can go here, and I see Lisa Patrick is on here. So I could go in here and type in Lisa. Let's see if she's in here. Yep, there. So I can click done and then send, and it's going to say your contact request has been updated successfully. I hit OK, and it takes me there. I send the message to her, and she just got a text message to go in. Just click a little link, and it opens up the form. And it's so easy. It's so simple for people to do. It's amazing. Like, it's absolutely. And if I'm at a networking event and I say, what's your name? And I introduce myself, and we chat for a minute, and I go, man, I want to put you in my phone. I want to send you a birthday card. Well, I just hit that, and I enter in your phone number, blah, 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 whatever it is. And boom, it sends you the link. You fill that link out, and I've got all of your contact information. I don't have to wonder and guess. And then you're right, you can set up your calendar to notify you. So I'm going to stop sharing this. And is there anything else you want to share with anyone?
Well, yeah. And the other thing is that, like, someone can send you a V card and they don't have everything you want. So you just go in and you go to update, and then you say, listen, you didn't send me everything I need. Fill in the blanks, and then they can do that. And so, and if somebody changes their email in a year or whatever, you can just start updating it. Right. And update people's information, and it, like I say, it doesn't put multiple contacts in. It updates the information on your phone, and so it's tied to your phone because, again, I believe that your phone is the master Rolodex.
I agree.
You know, it doesn't matter if you're using a CRM for your company. I guarantee you're making phone calls on your phone.
Yeah.
You know, and that becomes your network. That's where your network resides. You know, in network marketing, you tell people to make a list. Well, you don't have to. It's in your phone. You know, you have to do that anymore. So anyway.
Yeah. I think that this is an unbelievably powerful tool. Like, you know, Lisa Patrick, I would love to send her a card and, you know, or something to her. She's awesome. I would love.
Let me give people a code, because there's a referral code on there. Okay. And this isn't my code. It's just a code so you can get the discount. So what they did, the company what they did is they created a thing in beta. It's going to be a $20 app a year, you know, $20. But if you hurry
per month?
No, year. Per year. And then what happens is if they use the word client, so if you use client and put it in there right now, then that will give you, and the reason I'm using client, because you have to do with client, and what it does is it allows them to track, see where they can get people signing up and stuff. And so what that does is that gives you the beta price. So you're going to be fixed in and locked in to that beta price forever. And so when it goes up to 20, you'll never pay that at 20 every year. You'll just pay $10 a year. Right. So when you go into and download the app, it'll have you fill out the form. It'll say referral code. You just put client in there, and then they'll know that came from this webinar, so that they can track and do the analytics and all that kind of stuff. And then you do it, and then share it with everybody, because I believe everybody needs to have everybody's information.
Look, you said it. You said it to me multiple times as we were talking about. You know, you mentioned Harvey McKay over and over, and he's somewhat successful guy, isn't he?
Oh, now there's the master. Okay, there's the master. He is the master networker.
He's amazing.
He knows how to network, and he's very, very good. Sure. And if you know, and you got a book coming out like really soon, like really soon, like
next Friday.
Yeah, like really soon.
Next Friday, yeah. Here, you want to see what it looks like?
Yeah, great book.
Walls of Wisdom, Turning Pain into Profit. It's just about and as you can see, there's a picture of me and my wife, and I definitely married up. So, and she's way smarter than I am too. So, but you know, like the information on that you can collect from this app, just, you know, first, my first thought was, well, why, you know, I mean, I don't even know how many thousands of people I have in my phone, but like, it's a lot, and I don't have their birthdays. I don't have their addresses. I don't know if I want to send them a fruit basket or a gift card or anything. Like, I can't, because I don't have their information. And I looked through my phone, and I'm like, and you made me think about that. And I'm like, man, I really, truly don't have the necessary info. And, you know, yes, I could call them and say, hey, I know we've been friends for 5 years, and I don't, you know, really know anything about you. And this may seem a little weird, but can I get your address? I know we've been friends on Facebook for 5 years. What's your address? Like, how about, you know, but if it's like, hey, I want to send you on your birthday, I want to be able to send you a card or something. Can you give me your address? Of course and if they don't, then whatever.
Well, here's what I found out also. This is my phone ring. Sorry about that. Is that, you know what? If you ask, people will give it to you. A lot of times they'll give it to you. They may ask you what for, and you just tell them. Yeah. Well, why do you want my birthday? Because I send you a birthday card if I want to. Not saying I'm going to, but I can if I want to. Right. Well, why do you want my address? Well, in case I get, you know, I'm homeless and I need somewhere to stay. You know, kid around. But in case I want to send you a book, you know, in case I want you to send you Ken Wall's book, you know what I mean? Then I got your address. And so there's a lot of reasons why you do that. And like we said, I mean, I don't mean to, you know, beat it to death, but the reality is that knowledge is power, and the more knowledge and information you have on people, the more the more you can help people. And when I say power, I don't mean that in a greedy way. I'm talking about the power to empower others.
Yeah.
Have you ever been around somebody that says that they walk around and you're with them somewhere and all of a sudden says, "Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing?" And it seems like everybody knows them.
Yep.
You ever been like that? Well, that's because they build a network with those people and they have a relationship.
Yep.
You ever been with people saying, "Hey, God, I really like me." Oh, I can introduce you to them.
Yep.
And you go here, just a minute, let me pick up the phone and do it. Well, I need so and so. Hey, I've got someone that can do that for you. So if you've got that information, then you become the master connector.
That's right.
And then and that's very powerful for everybody around you. You know what I mean, including yourself. So there's a lot of reasons. I'm just telling you right now, if you're not collecting as much information, Harvey McKay says it this way. People ask him how much how much information I get on somebody, and he says this: all of it.
Right. It'd be good to know their blood type if you can get it.
Right.
What if you need it someday?
That's right. Get it all and write notes on people so you remember.
That's right. Anyway. That is probably one of the most valuable things I've gathered from you since we've really connected and is start taking notes on people so you can go, Lisa Patrick. Okay, I know Lisa. I know her. Now I know Lisa pretty well. But I could say Lane Shildroth, who was on here. I don't know if Lane's still here, but Lane, if you are, hey. But if I wanted to really dig in and go, now how I have Lane in my phone. I see Sandy is on here still. Sandy, you're awesome. Thank you for being on here. She's absolutely amazing. So I'm speaking at her conference, as a matter of fact, at the beginning of November 4th, I believe it is November 4th. But I could go, hey, okay, Sandy, how do I know Sandy? And I can look through those notes. And that's what I love about this app. It's unreal. Like you can just go in there and find out you can send them a link, they update it, then you can go in there and add notes and it's just amazing. It's an amazing. So you and the group of people that all, had put all these ideas together, and I'm telling you, it's amazing. Love it.
Well, I just had, by the way, on the phone here.
Yeah.
I probably had about 15 people send me a private message on Facebook with their number.
Oh, really? From our conversation here?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And so it's just funny. I'm just kind of looking, and this is what it does when you teach people this. I found that people are sometimes afraid to ask. And so, just get over the fear and do it anyway. Just do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway.
I agree with you. Well, listen, I don't want to stay on here all night, but I want to, it was my idea to have this this Zoom meeting with you because I think that everybody should know about this. So what I'm going to do is when we end this, I'll go back in and edit this post so I can make sure that everybody has a link to the app. I'll post it in there. And I'm going to tag you on the video if you're okay with that. And
yeah, that's fine.
So it'll go out onto your Facebook.
And I can look and say, "Oh, did I really make that in expression? Oh, don't tell me I was looking around when I was talking about that. Oh no!" And then I'll be critical about everything. And then I'll call you up and say, "Oh, take it down." And
I'll have to talk you out of that idea real quick.
Anyway, I really don't care. I'm not that vain. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, no,
I am what I am.
Ain't none of us perfect, man. None of us. So anyway, it's called, you can plug it again.
It's My Contact Butler. It's in the iPhone and Android store.
Yeah.
And make sure that when you put the reference code, put client, so that they know where it came from, and also that you get and it's in beta. There are a few bugs. I'm not going to say there are a few bugs, but they're really good at cleaning them out. They're almost done with beta. I think beta will probably be in another week or two, and then they'll launch it. The full everything. Well, it is the full version, but everything and stuff like that. So anyway,
that's
I
awesome.
love it. Best
Yeah.
tool, best app in the marketplace right now, in my opinion.
It's pretty sweet. I actually went in and gave it a 5-star rating last night on the App Store. It's amazing. Cool. I love it. I'm going to use the heck out of it because that's it is the only reason that I've been able to succeed on the little levels that I've succeeded. And that's because I'm connected so well. And I've worked so hard to build that network. And maybe that was the one thing I picked up from Harvey McKay. But when I read his book, I mean, it's been, oh my gosh,
years ago.
It's had to have been 30 years ago.
It's been a bestseller, New York Times bestseller it still is. And I think he's probably 86, 87, 88, something like that.
Wow.
So, and he's still running and jogging and playing golf, and great guy.
It's amazing. I told you earlier that that him and Jeffrey are pretty close.
Yep.
So which is just like, what a small world, huh?
It is a small world.
It is. So anyway, well, listen, I really appreciate your time, DeMarr. I know you're a busy guy out there trying to fish for flies or whatever you call that.
Fly fishing. I know you are. I know you're kidding around.
As you know, I've never been fly fishing, so I know nothing about it. But I'm coming to Utah. I want to come out and learn.
Yeah, you come stay at my house, and we'll go fly fishing.
Awesome. So. Hey, really appreciate it, and we'll probably jump back on here in another week or so and talk about it again, man. I know it's in beta, and because of my programming background, I've been able to. DeMarr's actually put me in touch with his programmer so I can help him iron out a couple of the bugs, but it's a cool app. I love it. So
yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it. It's been fun.
Yep.
And the hatch is on. It's time to go fly fishing.
All right. We'll see you later. Thanks, DeMarr.
You bet. We'll see you later. Thanks.
All right. Bye.
Okay, bye.